Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Reginal Drummer, and welcome to another episode of We Are Ready. Well, we always focus on something that can help us, our families, and our communities. I encourage everyone, especially if you're joining us over on Facebook or Instagram, to come over here to Square Mile Media Atlanta. Square Mile Media Atlanta, like, share, be ready for some comments, posts, and also hit that notification button so you'll uh, be ready to hear from a lot of the content that we have over here. Tonight, special show, we're going to be talking about our seniors, the season, what we call season people that are just getting to be seniors. You got a little gray right there, you got a little knowledge. So you're not a full senior. You might be 45, 50, just about to get to that little thing. Then we're talking to our junior seniors on the block. These are our junior seniors. I was just told about this category. These are the junior seniors. These are the people somewhere around maybe right at 55, 60, still holding on to the 50, and they hadn't got their social security yet. So they're not considered a full-fledged senior. Then we got our seniors that are about 65 years old. That's when you start, what they call conventional retirement, Social Security probably done kicked in, all that type stuff, Medicare, Medicaid, all that. Then we got our senior plusers. These are our seniors that have gone past maybe 85, 90 years old. These are our senior plusers. They have enjoyed retirement. They have done pretty much everything. They're just living their life. And people, believe it or not, at this age group are doing some big things, making some major accomplishments, doing some things. I am reminded about maybe 20 years ago, there was a senior that was a super senior pluser or super senior, 90 years old, held the world record for 80 plusers in the 100-yard dash, and I think the mile or something like that. And I was like, man, and it hit me. I said, well, what would it be a senior be doing running at 80 or 90 years old? Because he wants to. But as we get older, we've been talking about survival. But as we get older and go through these years, we have to think about some things that can help us maintain a better life, maintaining a better life. Once you reach that plateau of being a well-seasoned person or a senior citizen or whatever, you got to make some changes. You got to make some lifestyle changes. And it's going to be critical. I remember the first time I had an 8-hour pain that didn't go away. I guess I was about 45. That's, oh man, whoa. I'm used to doing this and doing that, and now I feel the burn. I feel the pain. So I said, I gotta be careful. Can't do that. Wow. You start finding some things that you can't do around maybe 40ish. Time you hit 45 or something like that, if you were athletic or something like that, you find out you can't do a lot of things. So you got to make some adjustments. So as we become seniors, we have to look at that. One of the things they have to share, because we always focus on getting ready for pandemics or pandemonium. Well, senior citizen life is somewhat of a pandemic. It's a pandemic. It's something that's going to happen if you live long enough. There are a couple of key things that we do encourage people to do. As you do get older, you have to think, like I said, when I first got that pain, a cramp that wouldn't go away, the hands kind of felt stiff. I didn't bounce back as quick, couldn't hang with the young fellows, doing different things. I had to make some adjustments. And we don't see it, all at once, especially men. Women might see it a little bit different. Women tend to say, well, I just can't do that. I got to make some adjustments, some health changes and things of that nature. But men, sometimes we'll keep going. We say, man, I can hang with the young fellas. I can do what they do. But we got to make some adjustments. When you make those adjustments, you can have a great life, a great life. I remember when I was probably about 20 years old, there was an old man. He's probably about 80 years old. He said, he's a young fella. He was a handyman, 80 years old, retired electrician. He was just working because he wanted to work, found something to do, a hobby. We're going to talk about those things a little bit later. He said, well, young fella, he said, I do a lot of work. He said, but I never step on anything higher than a step ladder. Now, it took me about 20 years to figure out what that meant. It took me a long time to figure out what that meant. Basically, he was saying he didn't step on nothing higher than a step ladder. I'm talking about a very low step ladder. Because one of the biggest fears when you do get older is, guess what? Injury. You might have good health, you might have good stamina, but if you get injured, you may lose your ability to be independent, your mobility. You might have to go through some type of therapy or whatever, to get yourself back into the game. And it's harder the older you get. It's harder the older you get. So that's why it's important that you do some things to get yourself into position. So there's a couple of things that we had down here. These are what they call senior hacks. And these are things that as you get older, you have to start thinking about what will I have to do? What changes will I have to make? It could be something as simple as bending over. What's up there, Miss Teresa Sterling? How you doing, my sister? A junior senior on coming up, a home girl, much younger than I am, but you know, we can always share some things that can help us. But as we get older, we have to look and say, well, you know what? The first time I ever got up real quick and I almost fell, I wasn't thinking. I got up so quick, blood circulated so quick, and I got dizzy. Now think about that. The worst thing can happen to a senior or a junior senior is to fall. To fall. Once you do a fall, you will remember, you will be cautious from then on, hopefully, you know. So just bending over, just getting up. But one of the things that, and we shared this on our We Are Ready page as well, you know, if you're in a refrigerator, as you get older, you might need to organize the refrigerator a little bit better. There's such a thing called a lazy Susan. If you got some items that are in your refrigerator, instead of reaching all the way in the back trying to get to them, and you fall into the refrigerator, take a bump on the head or something like that, you can get this little thing and put your little items in it. Plus, you got to clean that refrigerator out and don't have a whole lot of stuff in there. Remember, you're a senior. Also, along with falls, or you know, running into furniture, it's imperative that you install some things just like you would with a child, almost on the sharp edges of furniture. If you're walking through your home and you stub your toe, now it's a difference when you're like 20. Get about 60 and stub your toe and see what happens. You could get a fracture, you could break your leg, throw your back out of whack, all that type stuff. Also, grips. We lose grip, believe it or not. The first time I dropped a cup, I was like, wow. You know, I just thought it happened. I didn't realize, you know, as a senior, you can lose your grip. And when you lose your grip, because the cup might be a little slippery, glass might be a little slippery. So you see why they have these little foam things around the cups. But you can get a little foam thing around your cup, your favorite cup. You don't have to put it on all of them, but that's your cup, a rubber band or something, so you can get a better grip on the cup. Also, if you're in the shower, again, falling. Again, falling. Man, soap. A bar of soap is the most dangerous thing in the shower. There are many people that have died in the shower, failing, you know, that type of stuff. It's encouraged that you either use the little soap dispensers Or if you love soap, put it in a nylon, like a pantyhose or something, tied up, and then have it where it's on a string or something, and it don't fall in the shower with you, because people sometimes when the soap falls, it's a natural thing to try to reach down and get it. Next thing you know, you slip and fall. The other thing, if you're on any meds, any medications, organize your medications. Organize your medications. It's imperative. One of the major problems as people do get older, this isn't anything, pandemic or plandemic or whatever, you get in a rush, you forget and take one more med than you needed to take because you was unorganized. You didn't remember which med you took. So it's good to get those little organizing things, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, put your meds in there. You'll be surprised what that does for you and your loved ones. Also, if you got rugs, those little rugs in the home, especially on hardwood floors and tile, they may look cute. And cool. If you're a senior, you might want to take those up. Oh yeah, you want to remove those rugs because that's a slip and a fall hazard. That is a slip or fall hazard. More seniors lose their ability to be independent from slipping on the rug. Slipping on the rug. And one of the second big things is cords. Tape down cords. If you can't tape them down, get your grandkids or somebody like that to tape them down. And tape them down correctly. Don't have them half stepping it. Get these cords out of the way. Out of the way. We got to do that. We got to be thinking at all times. Thinking ain't illegal yet, but you got to be thinking. Also, and I know this is going to be difficult. Now, if you are just a seasoned, just a little gray hair, but if you a little gray hair and you had some setbacks, this will still help you. But if you're a seasoned senior, you're over 70 or whatever, you might want to get a personal alarm. The little thing that goes around your neck, the button. You remember when they first came out and said, I've fallen and I can't get up. I've fallen and I can't get up. Well, that seemed like a long time ago, but guess what? They come in handy today. They come in handy today because if you take a bounce or fall and nobody knows it, it can be not good. Okay. A lot of, not to get graphic, but there are people that have lost their lives. Nobody knew that they had fallen, and until somebody went by and did a check to make sure they were okay. Also, develop a cleaning routine, as you get older, the less clutter that you have, the better. And this helps you deal with certain things, cleaning your house, cleaning your garage, your car, whatever. Because the more stuff that you have just laying around, it's going to cause safety hazards, okay? And it's going to put you in a compromised position, okay? Plus, you'll find yourself missing and losing stuff. Some people, we forget where our items are, and because we got so much clutter. If you're still driving, and this is for our seasoned seniors. I was in a parking lot at a mall, and there was a lady, had an older car, no alarm. She was looking for a car. Well, she did have a phone, and she was, going to call 911, different things like that. But anyway, we did help her find a car. But if you're a senior and you're older senior and you got a smartphone, at least take a picture of the area in which you park. These are little hacks that you can do to put yourself in a better position, so you won't, because people do take advantage of our seniors. See, all these little life hacks are by design to help us so that we can maintain our independence. You want to have your independence. You don't want nobody to have to do all this stuff for you, because anytime somebody do something for you, guess what? They might compromise what they're doing. They don't do it like you want to do it. And then they get frustrated, especially young people. They'll half do stuff, because you say, this man, just granddaddy, he just too finicky. All I did, so you're gonna have to maintain your own, independence and for as long as you can. And these little life hacks will help you do that. Also, man, you got to do this. Now, I know women tend to do it. My mother used to keep a little blanket and a scarf with her. Always got cold. But you don't know how it is until you start going into these new normals. Every place you go in is cold. Everywhere you go, it's cold. So you might want to keep a little blanket or a scarf with you to stay warm. Also, a fanny pack. Nothing real heavy, but a fanny pack. A fanny pack keeps some of your emergency items, that you might need. Should you go out and need some things, whether it be medication or might be a washcloth or something like that, but not a big purse, but something real small that you keep around your waist. Even your key, your phone, and all that type of stuff. You might want to keep it in that. Make sure you keep all that stuff secure. Those are some things that in a flashlight. Yeah, definitely. Your phone, if you're a senior and you're pretty savvy, you might be still using your phone. I know my dad, he's 90, and he might be on Facebook now, but he keeps his phone. He knows how to turn that flashlight on the back of the phone. He knows how to take pictures of different things. And the good thing about the smartphones, you can make the print as big or small as you want to, so you can see stuff. You'll find out that as you get older, you might need a magnifying glass. You might need glasses. You might need something to help you see better. When it comes to nighttime driving, oh yeah, this is a biggie. At certain numbers, you might not want to go out at night and drive. Oh no. Plus, they look crazy out here. The new normal, people are doing crazy stuff, turning around in the middle of the road. I was out the other night. Somebody just turned around in the middle of the road, came back down the same direction. I was like, man, what a nut. But you might want to come up with a system so that you, especially now, all holidays coming up, all this type of stuff, as a senior or a seasoned individual, you do not want to be out amongst the others, because you put yourself in a vulnerable position. If you're not thinking, if you're not in control of your surroundings, you could get robbed, you could get all kind of things. You could get in an accident, even if nobody was trying to rob you. Sometimes people just do not have a lot of patience or respect for older people. It is what it is. Growing up, if I saw an older person, I opened the door for them. I'll look and make sure they got back to their car okay. Well, a lot of times that's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen today. Okay. If you're in a line and you feel tired, you at a mall and there's a lot of people out there and you hadn't planned on the trip, you're exhausted, man, it's going to be crazy. The other thing is, as a senior, if you go into a place, it's good to make a call to see, do they have provisions for senior people? Do they have provisions for senior people? I hadn't been paying attention, but the little mobile carts, you can't make this up. Now, I was at a Walmart, and I was going to get a mobile cart for a senior. I said, well, I'll get it and bring it back, because went in there, and guess who had the mobile carts? Young people. I found them out there running around the aisles at Walmart with the carts. So you have to be making sure you can get these items. So sometimes you got to check and make sure these places are senior friendly, and make sure they monitor these little carts and things for you. Because we can still do things that we want to do. The older you get, I'll be downloading that 6.4 software in January. But one day I'll be 74 if I make it, 84 if I make it, 94 if I make it. You still want to move around and get around. And you want to live a quality life. But these are some other things. These are some hacks. Those are some hacks that people can do as you get older. But also, as you get older, there's a tendency you might outlive your friends. I'll say that again. You might outlive your friends and your loved ones, especially now. You can get around 74, 80 years old. You're going to outlive a spouse or a friend or close, whatever. So you're going to have to figure out ways to continue to adjust the change. And even younger people, because adjusting to change is right up there with falling. The older you get, it's harder to adjust to change. The new normals. You find out that nobody's taking cash. You find out that most of the banks are not letting people inside. If they do go inside, the lines are long. I was in a bank the other day, so many people in there, people turning around, coming after, what's that, Veterans Day. So we have to think about some things, and we have to develop what we call a system. That system stands for saving yourself time, energy, and material. System, saving yourself time, energy, and material. Especially as you get older, your lifestyle has to change. Your lifestyle has to change. Like I said, at 45, when I was 25, 30, I was eating anything. Well, I was a vegetarian for a minute, and I took myself off pork. I forgot, doing those, that time period, some time period. But, as you get older, you'll find out that there's things you can't eat no more. You can't stick in your mouth no more. So you got, lifestyle change, health-wise. You find yourself being allergic to milk, peanuts, seafood, all this type of stuff. And you say, man, I don't know what happened. I used to eat anything, drummer. I can't eat nothing, all that stuff now. You'll find out that you can't eat everything because the body's either form some type of built-in resistance to that particular thing that they're putting in that food. So you'll find out that those things don't fit into your body no more, and you just have to make that adjustment. Also, one of the big things also to maintain this body, it's 5 areas that we'll look at. Spiritual, okay? Spiritual, as you get older, you will get more spiritual. I don't mean religious, you'll get more spiritual because you'll find out that there's got to be a higher vibration than what you got or what you're dealing with now, okay? So spiritually, you'll tap into some things, okay? And then mentally, you'll find out you can't put all this stuff on your mind, especially as you get older. You'll find out that stress is a killer. Stress is a killer. Anxiety, worrying about things that you cannot change. So your mind has to be clear. Your mind has to be in the best shape that it can possibly be as you get older. One of the things they encourage you to do when you get older is to learn a foreign language. I've got a gentleman, a super senior. He's 90, I think he's 91. Okay. When I met him, he was about 78. He had started, he said, drummer, I've got to stop myself from getting Alzheimer's. Now, he was 78 when I met him. He's 91 now. He said, so he started reading. Well, he was reading anyway. He's a retired pharmacist, so he was used to, looking at paperwork and reading. But once he retired, he started learning a new language. You ain't got to be proficient at it, but just the mind getting to tickle these new brain cells, because a lot of brain cells go as you get older. A lot of brain cells go as you get older. So you got to excite these because it's new brain cells that come, but if you didn't learn nothing, it's going to be hard to get them rolling. So learning a new language can help either reduce Alzheimer's. And, as we get older, we need to think. I mean, you might not think as fast as you want or used to think, but you can keep yourself sharp. If you can stay sharp, you can figure out a lot of these things that's going on. What's up there, Philip? How you doing, my brother? Talking to our seniors. You got any questions or anything like that? I got to look in the chat over here, but do join us over at Square Mile Media Atlanta. But these are tips that we can use for our seniors. Like I said, for your mind, your spirit, your mind, and then this physical body. Even though they got all kind of organs, transplants, different things, but this body should last you all your life. I'll say that again. This body that you got, it should last you all your life. Now, we got to ask ourselves, well, drummer, you know, I had to get a knee replacement, a hip replacement, pacemaker, a stent. Well, you know, I got to get new teeth. I got to wear glasses. Yeah, there are a lot of add-ons, okay? But if we can minimize the add-ons, you know, take care of this body as best we can. That's why it's encourageable that we pay attention to our body. This temple that we've been given by the Creator is ours. Nobody should know more about your body than you. Looking around. Nobody should know more about your body than you, because it's yours. You can only give people symptoms. You go to the doctor, you give them symptoms. They say, oh, you're going to get on something. They're going to put you on something. Not to say that doctors don't know, but certain things you will know before it gets bad. Certain things you will know before it gets bad. If you take a look at your body. I know a lot of times men, we have a tendency not to look at our body. You know, we'll say, oh, well, everything's all right, man. I'm good to go. You know, sometimes you need to check your blood pressure. Check it. Sometimes you need to check your heart rate, all this type of stuff. If you look at the new generation that's coming, they are more focused on staying healthy. And that's helping them prevent diseases. That means anything that is against the body. So they do exercise. Now you got more people paying more attention to what they're eating. They know the food supply is not the best, so they try to pull back on things that linger in the gut too long. What's up there, Mr. Anthony Humphreys? What's up, Humphreys? What's up, brother? Talking to our seniors. If you guys got any questions about seniors this evening, let us know. But these are some things I hope you share this with seniors. As we get older, we got to have some life hacks that can help us survive, especially now in these new normals. But spiritually, mentally, and physically, and then socially, like I said earlier, as you get older, you will lose the people you know. At some point, you leave or retire from your job. You won't keep in touch with those folks. Okay, it is what it is. People come out the military every now and then. They'll go back and holler at the folk they knew back in the day. Okay, as you get older, you will outlive some of the people you know. Got to prepare ourselves. As you get older, you would outlive some of the people you know. I've been in the presence of different seniors, and I've seen seniors that were able, these are what we call senior plushers. These are folk that were 85 years old or older. 85 years old or older. And I would ask them sometimes, because some of them outlived the daughters. They outlived the spouses. They outlived everybody in their family. And they had to live with someone else. But they were still independent somewhat. Or they had enough money to help them to go to a senior citizens facility. Well, I found that the seniors that could make adjustments even live longer after they outlived all of their loved ones. I was a young lady. This one, my mom was in down in, I forgot the place, down in Sylvester. That was a little lady. She was a senior, and she was living there. She was 92 years old, and she had been there almost 20 years. She found a hobby, because this is something else you got to do as a senior. You got to find you something to do. As long as you got something to do, you will move and motivate yourself to want to get up when you get up, all that type of stuff. But she would put flowers out. She had 10 flowers. They said she'd go pick about 10 flowers. And she put them out every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday, like clockwork. 7:30, 8 o'clock, she had a routine. She picked those flowers up and put them out. You know, she outlived about 3 husbands and probably all the kids, you know, all that type stuff. She was, you know, but she found a hobby. So as we get older, we have to figure out some things, a hobby, something that we can do, something that we love doing, not because we're getting paid to do it, but something we love doing. Also, there are senior groups, okay? And, you know, I didn't think about it. I said, oh, man, I ain't gonna join no senior group, man. I'm not gonna be there with these old people. But you get older quicker than you think. Now, we look at certain things that you can do to maintain your independence as a senior. Either share, reduce, eliminate costs. Share, reduce, or eliminate costs. Share, reduce, or eliminate costs. Because as you get older, we talked about your health, but another side of that is your money. Okay, you want your money to go a little further. Okay, I mean, if you can maintain your health, your money will go further. I know people that say, well, drummer, you know what? Doggone it, man. My health bill is worse than a car. I was gonna get a Mercedes. Doggone it, I'm paying about $700-800 every month for these meds. So if you can reduce your dependency on medication as you get older, you can make some things happen. Or you figure out a way to either eliminate, reduce, or share costs. There are many programs out there that can help and assist with a lot of these medications, because as you get older, if you got glaucoma or something like that, them drops like $200. They don't last but 30 days. You got insulin, it's running about $70-80, you know, in a 30-day supply. You know, high blood pressure medicine, it can go anywhere between 75 and 200. So if you got high blood pressure medication, you got cholesterol reduction pills, you've got for the glaucoma and other thing, you can be up around $700-800 easy. And then if you got Medicaid or Medicare, it'll take care of it. Some of it depends on what type of plan you got. So as a senior, we have to be really, really thinking about our money. So there's a couple of things that you can do to reduce. If you're still driving, shouldn't be paying all that money for insurance. We encourage people, AARP. When I joined the AARP, I was like, man, you're gonna see your little toys. You know, I saw they sent me a little umbrella, a little cheap umbrella, a couple of years ago. But AARP, and it's another one, I can't think of all of them, but we list them somewhere over on our pages. But if you're a senior, you should be trying to reduce, eliminate, or find a way to share costs. They're for operations that people need. There are groups that are out there that will share the cost of your operation. You know, something like a knee replacement. Believe it or not, all kind of things. So to get involved in senior groups, there are senior homes. You know, I live in East Point, and there's I think Jefferson Park. They all over Atlanta. But do you realize you can go eat? Sadie Eves over there off Westlake had a partner over there, and you know, but you have to realize that you can eat for less money if you don't want to cook. Okay, if you can eat for less money if you don't want to cook, there are senior facilities all around serving meals Monday through Friday. Okay, and as you get older, that becomes important because you might not eat as much. You don't need to cook as much. You don't feel like cooking. You did it for 60, 70, 80 years. So you go to these places, I mean, meals, $5-60. Some are less than that. Okay, some are less than that. You know, I mean, you can't beat it. So we have to figure out ways to reduce, eliminate, and share costs, especially in this new normal. Okay, new normal. There are places that have food, healthy food, vegetables. They're giving them away. I know people, they used to give you cheese and bread. That was the only thing people were giving away. Now they give them. You still do your due diligence, but if you can reduce the cost of eating, you can put yourself into a better position as a senior. Also, like I said, the other little lady, she was volunteering. You'd be surprised because uh, it's been scientifically proven if you got something to do or think you got something to do, like that little lady, she was 92 years old, 91, 92. She really felt that was her calling to put them flowers out. And she did that every day. She probably still doing it. You see what I'm saying? She found a purpose. If you got somewhere to go, something to do, somebody to help, somebody to love, you will extend your life. Yes, proven fact. Because I asked a bunch of seniors from all kind of walks of life. Every time I would meet, and we've been doing this a long time. I knew a brother, a senior. He was not ice skating, skating at 80 years old. Mr. Art. Mr. Art was skating at 80 years old. I remember I had a customer. She was about 80 back then, and introduced her. I said, man, they make a nice little couple. But Mr. Art, all his little girlfriends in the little senior place was a new senior. He's 80 something, but he always had him like a 67, young, but that kept him going. He was engaged in so many activities as an older man. Because sometimes as men, especially if you're single, they say if you're single, you're gonna be miserable. Some women too, but women tend to be in a better position because you like I said, you outlasted, you had a lot of good memories. Okay, you might have outlived all your girlfriends and people of that nature, but men sometimes don't make the connection of developing new relationship. Women sometimes can develop new relationships. I've seen it both ways. But if you can adjust to change and develop better relationships, you can extend your life because you're always reinventing yourself. Okay, no matter where you go, who you move in with, you in a better position. They say, man, trust me, Grandpa, all right. We need to check on him. Also, as we get older, we look at our health, we look at our finances, but you also look at where you live. Okay, you might want to downsize. You might want to downsize. As you get older, you might not want to be in a two-story building, home, because the steps, going up and down the steps, you're going to need operation or hip replacement. You take a fall. You got to look at all this stuff. There are many decisions that older people are making, and since we own a home, we have to be careful. I had a gentleman. He was retired, paid off his house and all this stuff, and he did a what they call a reverse mortgage. He was 80, about 83 years old, outlived about 3 wives, kids. Saying, when you go, we at least got the house. But he did a reverse mortgage, and these are things seniors do. Some, if they in their own faculties rather, they make decisions. You'll say, hey man, I'm gonna live the life. I'm 80-something years old. Boom, ain't nobody coming over here seeing at me. So they're gonna do what it needs to be done. But anyway, he ended up doing a reverse mortgage, and that reverse mortgage put him in a situation where he was good. It was good. He was taken care of. Had somebody come by and bring him some food and all this type of stuff. All the little nuances that were necessary to keep him going. But when he died, they thought that they had the house. They found out that Daddy had did a reverse mortgage on the house. So if you got seniors in your family, if you a junior and you got seniors, you got to talk to them and something that's not a scam, but it could be something that could be devastating for the family to find out later. Plus, we got to be careful about scams as we get older. And it can be sad. I've been in many towns. I was out volunteering one time with the Red Cross. And there was a disaster. Matter of fact, down in South Georgia, there are people coming by taking advantage of seniors. Okay, people will take advantage of seniors because a lot of times they live by themselves. They want some degree of independence, and they might not communicate. You know, especially older seniors, they're not gonna tell you their business. How they say, I ain't gonna tell you my business. I needed a roof. I went and got a roof. The lady, she was clear like that. I needed a roof. Well, they hoodwinked her. Uh, Never did get a roof. Never did get a roof from those people. Somebody else had to put a roof on. They gifted her a roof because they had taken advantage. Trees falling. You know, when these disasters, pandemoniums happen, senior citizens are the ones that get hoodwinked and bamboozled. Somebody come by and say, "Hey, I cut that tree down." They never cut it down. "I'll take that off your house." They never do it. So we have to look at our seniors and we have to protect our seniors. Okay, all the time, all the time. And one day, all of us, if we make it long enough, we're going to be a senior. And hopefully we can be a senior plus. But hopefully some of these were good tips for us to keep us thinking, because as we grow older, we have to look at some things. We have to stay active. We have to stay active. And that means that you're going to outlive your current profession. Either you're going to retire from it, you're going to get tired of doing it, or you just won't be able to do it anymore. So you got to think about, what are you going to do? Now, senior told me one time, he's a drummer, guess what? You know, all the people that are talking about they're going to go on go fishing, go vacationing. If you ain't doing it now, guess what? You ain't going to do it. You're not going to do it. So you find yourself sitting around hoping and thinking, man, how much time I got left? So as a new senior on the block, we got time to develop some focus, you know. And one of the biggest focus is in the area of prevention. That's why we went over all those little hacks, things that you can do to help yourself, your family, and others in your community. Maybe there's a senior out there. Oh, and another thing, if you know some seniors, it's getting cold. Check on seniors, please. I've had the well, only one time in my life did I find a senior. Did I find a senior that was dead? The brother, and I always remember he was staying there by himself. But every now and then I go by this little place and grab a dinner. I bring him a dinner, some chicken wings, something like that. Well, I was gone for about a week or two. I came back, and some of the neighbors were like, "Have you seen so and so?" I was like, no. I was going to check on him this evening. I just got in. I've been out of town. Man, knocked on his door. Didn't get an answer. It was cold, February. So anyway, I did climb in a window and I found him dead. Well, he had been dead for almost a week. Okay. So it's important, if you are a senior, especially men, a lot of times let somebody know you're alive. Okay. Find somebody to talk to, get involved with something, group or organizations where somebody said, "Well, where drummer at?" You know, because you know, it could be days before somebody found you. But I want to share this before we close out this evening. And this is something that we've been sharing with everybody. Over the next 100 days, whether you're a senior or whoever, it's a good time to spend at least 10 minutes a day with me, myself, and I. It's critical. This will help you live longer, have a clear frame of mind, and find out a lot about yourself and get out of these anxieties, all this stuff, you know, you've been worried about, what's that, the runoffs and all this type of stuff. Get that out of your mind. Just for a minute. Just for a minute. Also, drink when you get up, before you go to bed. Use some hot or warm water. Hot or warm water. You'll be surprised My granddad told me this, and he made it to about, I think he was about 86, 87, before he went down. Uh, Hot water, but it's a lot better than coffee. But it helps uh, cleanse the body, believe it or not. It helps stimulate the blood, and all that type of stuff. And I've seen people that have either eliminated or reduced their dependency on medication just from doing that. I didn't exercise. You clap your hands, jump, run, walk, crawl for at least 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day. You'd be surprised what that does to the overall body. And then uh, save $1 a day, just $1, $1 a day. That's what that does is a discipline exercise, and you can do with it whatever you want to do with it. We've had people that have teamed up, come together as a group, like-minded people, 10 like-minded people saving $100 every 100 days. That's $1,000. If they get real good, they get up to $10 a day. We've had people that bought a house in their neighborhood, a house that was run down, beat up, and whatever. You might want to do with a senior citizen in your neighborhood house, dilapidated. You might buy that house once they're gone. Because a lot of times people not coming back to those houses. They're not coming back to fix them up. You can do it. And I've seen people even buy cars and lease them out, Airbnb the houses, rent out the cars, all kind of stuff. These many things that people can do in this new normal to offset the cost for themselves, their families, and their community. Also, contact family members, friends, loved ones. You'd be surprised. Like I said, there are many people that won't get a phone call, won't be noticed, and you'd be surprised what that phone call does to them. An uncle, a cousin, auntie, or somebody like that. Just say, "Hey, how you doing?" It ain't always about that money. Even though I'm calling people, there's a drummer. I had a guy call. I called him one time. He said, "Man, drummer, man, you know what? I owe you $100." I was like, "What?" I didn't stop him. I said, it was some work I had did about 20 years ago. It's a good brother. Believe it or not, that brother, just from making a phone call, I didn't know I was calling him for them. Plus, I needed that money. But anyway, he cashed out me to $100. Well, really, $150. He said for interest, just from making a phone call. Also, read a good book. Now, if you get some things on health, that's good. Okay, we need to find out some things that can help us deal with our health better. I throw this out there: How to Eat to Live, and some other books. But that's a good book for eating. If you can get down to maybe one meal a day, do it. Okay, I find out that a lot of the seniors that are 80, 90 years old don't eat a lot. Okay, especially the men. I found out a lot of guys, I said, man, because I've seen them from Muslim to Christian, Seventh Day Adventist, Mormon, Jewish, and the ones that live 80, 90 years old, no medication. If they did have medication, it was minimal. Ate a different diet. Well, ate a diet is a bad word. They ate a different meal to live. Also, read a good book, like like I said, Powernomics. That's something that we'll focus on. And reach out to a senior. If you're a new senior about to come up on the block and join the older seniors, I hope that some of the information that we shared this evening would be beneficial to you. Trust me, we need a healthier, stronger, vibrant generation. If we leave before we get to put information out that can help the next generation, we left too soon. If the younger ones that are leaving too soon, sometimes they need mentorship, they need advice. So you need to have some gray hairs. Sometimes I cut the top off, but we need some gray haired people around. Okay, and we need to be as healthy as we possibly can. One of the things that we can do, if we're here, we can make our lives a lot better. Technology is here. They'll tell you everything, a lot of the things that you don't need to put into your system, and why. You can find all that stuff out. But with that being said, thanks for listening to us tonight. This show, we said it was going to be shorter, but I kept going. But hopefully, there's some of this information, some of those life hacks. If you look into your life and you say, well, what can I do to strengthen my position as a senior? Okay? Because I'm going to share this with you. Crime, if you're not strong enough to protect yourself from what's out there, will be a victim to crime. So we have to protect ourselves and not be so easily a target. Okay, try to stay as strong as you can, spiritually, mentally, physically, socially, and economically. Okay, so you won't put yourself in a vulnerable position or find yourself in more vulnerable position that you need to be in. This is Reginal Drummer, the peopleologist, coming to you live this Sunday. Please like, share, comment over here at Square Mile Media Atlanta. I encourage you to take full advantage of every opportunity that you can in order to enhance or strengthen your capabilities while we're here. While you still got a sane mind. And protect your mind at all times. Protect your mind at all times. The most powerful gift that we have is up here. These things right between our two ears, this thing right here. So with that being said, this is Reginal Drummer, the peopleologist, and you know what we say over here, the secret of walking on water is just knowing where the rocks are. So live life, long life, and prosper. This is Reginal Drummer, the peopleologist. Thanks for everybody that joined us over on Facebook, Instagram. Peace, power, long life, and prosperity.